Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are memory planning the week that was July 22nd through to July 28th, and we are using this beautiful kit from Planiface. Now, I don't recall, but I have a feeling that this kit was actually from the 2023 mystery kit. Kat or Anna, even Tilly, anyone that got the Planiface advent calendar, if you guys are watching this, can you confirm? I feel like I'm correct, but I could be embarrassingly wrong. But this kit is really, really cute. It's the perfect week to use this kit because this week was very much a kind of relax myself, be calm, be chill, be zen, because this was actually the week of our second transfer or our second embryo transfer. For anyone who may be new here, hi, hello, welcome. But my husband and I are undergoing IVF and we have been since January 2024. So as of this plan with me, we had gone through 2 egg collection cycles and this was about to be our second embryo transfer cycle. So I wanted a kit that was not only winter, but something that kind of channeled relaxation, just calm, like keep that mind calm, because the very first thing that they told us when we went to our IVF appointment was minimize stress where you can. And obviously that's incredibly important when you do an embryo transfer, because essentially once that transfer is complete, you are what they call pupo, or pregnant until proven otherwise. So basically after your transfer occurs, you have a pregnancy blood test 10 to 12 days later, and they confirm whether or not you are pregnant. So this was transfer week number 2 for me. It was just off the back of my own birthday week. It was just before my brother's birthday. It was just after my goddaughter's birthday, one of our good friends' birthday, and I definitely went into this week feeling incredibly positive. So again, I just thought that this was the perfect kit for that. But as I mentioned, this is a Planiface kit, and I did pair it with a Planiface foil bundle, which is like the snowflake pattern. It is really, really pretty, and it is in silver. And yeah, I will just say in my sidebar, again, like I tend to always do, I have just put 3 like boxes, and then I did put a little quarter box just to mark my highlight of the week. And I'm about to choke up. I was about to choke up my own saliva. I still may. So stay tuned for that. The one of the boxes that I use in the sidebar does have like little Christmas tree decorations. So I did and ah about using this kit for a very long time, because for anyone who, well, everyone should know, but winter in Australia is cold, but it's not Christmas time. So I'm generally using winter kits, but they don't feature Christmas themes, or they're not Christmas themed kits that feature winter. So I did and ah, and I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to overthink it, and I'm going to use this kit because it's really, really cute. So I did. But let's go ahead and start talking through the plans. So first things first, on Monday I did have a blood test, and then funnily enough, apart from the fact that it was embryo transfer week, I didn't have a lot on this week. And again, I've said this before, for anyone who's followed for a while, you guys would know that if you see flat lay planner stickers in my spread, it is because I didn't have a lot to mark and I needed to take up the space. So I do use flat lays to represent work this week, and you will see on Monday that I have a flat lay to represent work. Once I got done with work for the day, I did I marked down that I watched some Gossip Girl, and then I did have to pick up my husband again. For anyone who may have just joined or just found my channel, or this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, when we do our IVF blood appointments, my husband comes with me because I'm a little bit of a needle phobe. I don't like needles at all. And just the fact of having him there, like back in the day, he used to come into the room with me, but now just having him at the appointment, he waits in the waiting room, but it just puts me at ease. And on the drive in, it just gives me less anxiety. I feel like if I tried to take myself to these blood appointments, my anxiety would get the better of me, and I don't know how I would go. So just to have him there is very special to me. But because of that, we do go in one car, which means I then take him to the train station after the blood appointment. He goes off to work, I come home, and then I go and pick him up later that day once his train comes back in. So I did mark that I had to pick him up. On this night, we did decide that we didn't want to go home and cook, so we did treat ourselves to some kebabs for dinner. And then when we did get home, we finished out the night by watching some Fear the Walking Dead. On Tuesday, at the top of the day there, again, I have used another flat late to mark work. And then I marked that it was a super long work day. I don't know why. It was probably just the hormone injections catching up with me, because for me, one of my issues with my fertility is that I don't ovulate. So I have polycystic ovaries and I don't ovulate. They have confirmed that through blood tests. So I do what is called a HRT, or a medicated transfer cycle. So instead of my body being allowed to just do what it needs to do naturally, I actually have to start on injections. I do usually about a week's worth of injections before transfer. And then we do what they call a trigger shot a week before the transfer. So I still do injections even during my transfer cycles. And so by this point, I was probably very hormonal and very much over the entire thing. Give me 1 second, because my dog is being naughty. Sorry if you heard that, but basically my dog was like chewing himself to death. And the only thing that works on him to stop him chewing is a spray bottle. So that's what I just did. You may have heard that ruckus in the background. Okay, where was I? So super long work week. Again, I think that was just down to hormones. I did watch some more Gossip Girl this day. I marked chilling out with my doggos. And then again, to finish out the evening, I did mark that we watched more of Fear the Walking Dead. On Wednesday was transfer day. I don't know what it is, but every time that we have had an embryo transfer, I say that like we've had a lot of them. We've had 2. But ours is always like first thing in the morning. And for us, our clinic is at least an hour away in traffic of a morning. So this particular embryo transfer was scheduled for 8 a.m., which meant that we needed to leave our house at about 10 to 7, and that's purely just to allow for extra traffic and to make sure that we can find parking. So that means getting up at like 6, 6:15, just depends. Like if it's a day where I get up and like wash everything like prior to the appointment, it's obviously earlier, but it's still a like 6 o'clock wake up just to get there for 8 o'clock. So we are always so exhausted. But we drove on in. We had our embryo transfer. I remember when we walked in, they show you your embryo on the screen, because basically the embryo is in a little dish out the back, and the embryologist has to suck it up into a catheter and then put the catheter in, and they put the embryo into your uterus right under your bladder. Your bladder has to be like full so that they can see placement perfectly, and it's this whole process. It only takes like 5 minutes, but it's this whole big process. And when I walked in, I remember our first embryo, I don't know, it just looked like an embryo. But this second one was what they call hatching, which means it was kind of coming out of its little round shell and like hatching into what would become a baby, provided that, you know, everything went ahead. And I remember our specialist saying it's really good. We're really happy with how it's defrosted. It looks great. And again, like I said, I'd already gone into this week with such positive thoughts, and I was just, when he said that, I was so happy. And I remember when we walked out of the transfer and I was like, I forgot to take a photo. Like, they don't give you a printout of it. They can give you a little video to like watch it develop. But I remembered that I didn't take a photo. I wanted to take a photo of the screen just so I could be like, hey, this is our little baby. We had a photo of the embryo when it went into freeze, but we didn't have a picture of it when it went in for transfer. And I remember just thinking, I'm like, I'm going to regret that. But yeah, we had our transfer. All was well. We just go home, keep up normal routine, they say, and just live life. So on the way home, I did actually mark pretty M baby in my planner. We got McDonald's fries on the way home, because there's this thing in the IVF community, if you don't know, that when you have an embryo transfer, you eat McDonald's fries, and they say that apparently, like, it's some kind of wives' tale, whatever you want to call it, that it's good luck. So on the way home, we did stop and get our McDonald's fries. We then went and had breakfast at the coffee grounds. I had fried eggs on avocado toast, and it had like pomegranates sprinkled on top. It was so yummy. And a decaf cappuccino for me. I don't remember what my husband had, but mine was really, really good. Then we went on a grocery shop. They also say to walk after your transfer because it helps with blood flow through to the uterus. So we walked around the shopping center. We did a grocery shop. Then when we got home, I did try to take a nap, but it wasn't very successful. And then again, another thing that they tell you to do is to laugh. Might sound silly, but it's just what they say. So we went home and we spent the evening watching How I Met Your Mother. And I'm pretty sure I had soup for dinner this night because, again, one of those little things that they say to eat a lot of warm food, a lot of warm drinks, and keep your feet warm because it helps keep your uterus warm. So I did that, watched How I Met Your Mother. On Thursday, I did have the day off. It's just a tradition of mine, both transfers. So my first transfer, I actually had the entire 2-week period off until I had my blood test. And this time I decided that I was only going to have the transfer day and the day after off. So I was off work on Thursday. I did have a sleep in. When I woke up, I watched some YouTube and then I went on my walk because, again, good for the uterus. On my way home from the walk, I did go to the local cafe and pick myself up a takeaway coffee. And then when I got home, I did watch some Gossip Girl. I took a nap and I watched How I Met Your Mother. I remember I was feeling a little bit crampy in the lower back, like at the back end of this week. But because I was on progesterone pessaries, they're like, oh, it's just a symptom of your progesterone. Friday, I marked that I worked. I was exhausted, incredibly tired. Again, probably just the hormones and the pessaries. And then I went to do a walk around the block again. And I did specifically mark on this day that I had lower back pain. It felt like I'd done a workout and like the top of my butt was like really sore, like the muscles were aching. When I got home, I marked that I finished my Gossip Girl rewatch. So then I started a rewatch of the new Gossip Girl or the reboot Gossip Girl. And that was my Friday, apparently. On Saturday, it was my brother's birthday. And again, I did mark having that lower back pain. I watched some more Gossip Girl. Then we went to the shopping center, did some more walking. I had Le Wrap for lunch, which is a wrap shop. I then came home. I had my dad and my brothers over for my brother's birthday. We had coffee, cake, and chats and sang happy birthday. And then Sunday, the last day of the week, I did mark that I slept until 11 a.m. I marked that it was incredibly windy this day, that I watched some more Gossip Girl. I took another 2 naps after that. And then my football team played the Canberra Raiders, but I didn't actually record the score, so I don't have that marked in. And then I just marked that I finished out the day by chilling out with my love and my puppies. And yeah, so like I said, lots of walking, lots of zen, lots of relaxation and chill, watching How I Met Your Mother, watching Gossip Girl, all things that I knew would make me happy. Nothing too dark, nothing too heavy, laughing, keeping myself warm and cozy. And yeah, lots of back pain from Friday through Sunday. But that is it, you guys. That is the end of this video. In just a moment, of course, I will show you the finished spread and the foil leftovers. And I'll see you all in another video. Bye!